Teen Titans #1, written by Scott Lobdell, art by Brett Booth. I want to get something out of the way real quick. This is from the trade because in the original printing single issue, from my understanding, they make direct references to how there was a previous team of Teen Titans, the one with like Nightwing and Starfire and the rest. But when they put it in the trade, they scrubbed out all those references. So that's what we're going to be operating off of here, just to make things clear. Anyway, it's a story told in 4 parts. Part 1, Kid Flash. There's a burning building. It's totally under control. Firefighters are like, we got this. News reporters there saying they got this. And then Kid Flash comes up, steals the news reporter microphone and be like, hey everyone, Kid Flash has got this. Let me show my fans how I handle things. And he goes up to one of the firefighters and he's like, hey, let me know how I can help. And they're like, we got this. Go away, kid. You're not a professional. And at that exact moment, one of the fire marshals calls for help. He says he needs a bucket up here because, fire's spreading a little bit. Kid Flash hears the help. He runs in, making sure the camera is trained on him. Runs in, gets up to the roof where the fire marshal is, and the fire marshal's like, you idiot. Do you know what a backdraft is? And he's like, oh, it's an explosion that occurs when air reaches a fire that used up all available oxygen, often occurring when a door is open to a room containing the fire. Oh, and then the whole place explodes. He's knocked unconscious. People think that he ran away, so he doesn't have to take responsibility. And then we cut to part 2. Tim Drake. He's in a penthouse in New York City. He's going full Minority Report with all these holographic screens showing how badly Kid Flash just totally messed up. And then we see that all over America, teen heroes have been using their powers irresponsibly and hurting more people than they're helping. And Tim is upset by this. He's upset that they're using their powers poorly and aren't a functioning team like Batman and him were once upon a time. But also, he's upset because apparently they're being tracked by Nowhere. Cut to Nowhere has infiltrated Tim Drake's apartment. He's recognized it. He takes out one of the guys by throwing a picture frame. And then they just have a little exposition dump here where Tim Drake's apparently been blogging about Nowhere, revealing their secrets. And Tim's like, okay, so you could probably kill me, but you're going to have to deal with the explosives that I rigged in this place to go off in 16 seconds. 10, 9, and they're like, you're bluffing. You're just a kid. 8, 7, he dives out the window. They all make a run for it, and the penthouse does end up exploding, so then he gets a little bit. He's Red Robin. He was Batman's sidekick, blah, blah, blah. Cut to part 3. Malibu, California. We meet Cassie Sandsmark, who is driving a sports car that she stole. She's pulled over by a police officer. Police officer says license and registration. She feigns innocence, saying that's her mom's car, and she just took it out for a joyride, and her mom would be so upset if she... And then police officer grabs her by the throat and be like, oh, that is the least of your worries today. Then Tim Drake shows up, knocks out the police officer who actually worked for Nowhere, and is like, hey, Cassie, I've been studying you. Your code name, what they're calling you, is Wonder Girl. You clearly have powers. And she's like, no, what are you talking about? I'm not special at all. They're like, look, a group is after you called Nowhere. They shut down this entire highway. Didn't you think it was weird there were no other cars? And that was the police officer as well. I need you to help me take them down. Can you do that? And then a helicopter shows up, and he's like, all right, well, I need you to pull out your powers now if you have any, because they're going to start shooting. They start shooting. Tim Drake's wings affect him, or protect him, and then Cassie activates her powers when she's called Wonder Girl, because she really doesn't like to be called Wonder Girl for some reason. Like, she really... I don't get that, but anyway, they specifically say what her origin was earlier on. She was accused by Interpol of breaking into an archaeological dig in Greece. That's it. Apparently she came from an archaeological dig in Greece. But she breaks the helicopter, she crashes down into the water with it. Would have killed any normal person, but she's not a normal person. And now that she's been revealed and Nowhere knows where she is, she has no choice but to team up with Tim Drake and become a great team, a team of teens. Cut to the base of nowhere, where we see the scene that we saw in Superboy #1, where Strange, the leader of Nowhere, the strange dude with glasses, he talks to the scientist saying, all right, it's time to unveil our weapon because we got to deal with the Teen Titans now, or at least Tim Drake. And final page is release the Superboy, as we saw in the other issue. Gotta say, Scott Lobdell wrote both books, so it's not that impressive, but it is, they both line up at the exact same point. They both end release the Superboy, so I'll give it credit for that. It's gonna sound weird because it's Scott Lobdell, but I didn't hate this, honestly. It was very much okay. It did a good job setting up the characters. It didn't do anything too weird with any of them yet. Kid Flash, like I understand all their personalities so far. Like some of them are a little bit, like Kid Flash was just a little bit annoying. But the rest of them, like, I'm fine with it. And Kid Flash seems like he should be annoying. That seems like it's what his character's going to be. All in all, writing, I honestly can't really fault that much. It's not above and beyond great, but it's fine. Art-wise, it fits. I don't, like, it's light and poppy and colorful. There's, a bit more of a cartoony vibe to it than a more serious book, but I think it fits for this. So all in all, I'm honestly going to give #1 like a 7. It's not bad. It's perfectly fine and average. I don't know how we're going to turn out by the end of the arc, but for now, I have no qualms with Teen Titans #1.